Alright everyone, how are you doing there? It's Angry Roleplay, and today I want to show you the cold impale build due to popular demand and all. Right when I started pushing the leaderboard with this build, and I got more and more requests to do proper guide for this, because I checked the Diablo fans and I checked all the other guides, like the Voodoo guides in all other Demon Hunter plays, and they're mostly the lightning versions of the build. But I think that cold is superior, and I see that reflected on the leaderboards as well. The plenty of the highest leaderboard clears are with a cold setup, and I strongly think that cold is superior a little bit over the lightning setup. That's why I wanted to do specifically the cold setup build for you guys. So let's start with the gear first. We are running the 6-piece Shadow's Mantle set. The helm should have the dex, hit chance and impale damage. If you don't have impale damage, and you can have vitality here for extra toughness, it's not a big problem. Shoulders should be a dex vid, all res, all life and area damage. You can also have the 8% CDR here, so the perfect, super perfect shoulder should be dex vid, CDR and area damage here. The chest should be dex vid, all res, all life, and some useful secondaries like, for example, life per kill or damage reduction from the ranged attacks or melee attacks. The gloves should be dex, hit damage, hit chance and area damage, or attack speed if you have like very insane gloves, or both maybe. The pants should be dex vid and all res. Also try to get pants with the life after each kill as a secondary, because it will greatly help you with the shadow power tankiness. The boots should be dex vid, all res and impale damage here. Also try to get some useful secondaries here. One of the rings is compass rose. We use the endless walk set, so the compass rose should be dex vid, hit damage and chance. If you don't have the one with the wit, you can use the more like DPS oriented with area damage or CDR if you don't have CDR on shoulder. So the perfect one should be dex, area damage, hit damage and chance. The second ring is one of the two, either convention of the elements or elusive ring, the one like pretty much which is better. I have primal ancient elusive ring, but it has the dex roll and the flat damage roll here is better, so I use this one. In a perfect situation you might need this one, like hit damage, hit chance and area damage, but I went a little bit with more raw damage here because it just gives me around 8% more raw damage, and it helped me to push a bit higher for a single target. So any of this. I still have over 100 of area damage, and I think it's pretty good already. Like 130 is a bit of an overkill in my opinion, so like on every slot it's not bad area damage. As much as possible is good, but if you have like super insane fucking GG convention of the elements or elusive ring, or maybe the compass rolls with the base damage roll, you can use this as well, it's no big deal. As for the weapon, it's definitely this, the Carlist point, and the rolls should be damage, dexterity and area damage or attack speed. On the secondary, try to get as much hatred as possible, and also some useful secondary like life per kill or something else. Like this one is not really good, but I have another one here. It's just a lower DPS, but it has life after each kill in it. So I don't really like to use it for now. Okay, for the quiver we have the Holy Point shot. It's the only quiver that basically triples all our damage, because the legendary power throws 2 additional knives. That's how it works. And the rolls should be cold, dex vid, attack speed and hit chance. If you can have the impale damage instead of vid, it's not bad at all. Impale I think is much more important than vitality here. Like for example, this is my lightning Holy Point shot and has impale here, although just 10% here. On your weapon, the roll should be like I said, damage, dex and area damage, or attack speed. That's like the only 2 options that you might have. As for the belt, is the chain of shadows, and it's very important for, you know, to keep our discipline in place. After using Impale, Volt causes no resource for 2 seconds. And Volt costs us 8 discipline every time. So basically we can infinitely vaulting with this. And it saves us discipline a lot. This is very important. And the role should be Dex, Vid, all rest, and life, nothing crazy. And the secondary, it will be really good to have life after each kill as well. As for the braces, it's the strong arm braces, and the second good option here would be the Nemesis braces, just to spawn and kill more elites. But this one, this is like the GG DPS bracers here. The roles should be cold, skill, dex, vid, and hit chance, and as much secondary legendary power as possible. We use this in with basically the Volt rattling roll rune, and when we Volt, we knock back the enemies, and this is when the knockbacks happen. So that's why try to Volt through the enemies and knock them back, and they get the major buff against them. The Traveler Splash should be the cold hit damage and hit chance, nothing crazy. As much cold and hit damage and hit chance as possible, guys. The gems are just the diamond and helm, and the rest are the mix of either diamonds or emeralds. It depends on if you don't die much, use emeralds. If you die much, use the diamonds. But I prefer diamonds all the way because it boosts our toughness. The setup already has a lot of toughness, but you know, the more toughness the better. And in higher end, you need both tankiness and toughness as well to survive all that incoming damage. As for the legendary gems, I strongly recommend this setup for the cold spec. It's the Gogok of Swiftness, the Pain Enhancer, and the Bane on the Trap. No, the only good other gem that you can use can be the Bane of the Stricken instead of a Pain Enhancer. But here's the trick: Pain Enhancer gives us massive attack speed, and massive attack speed gives us more healing and more, you know, single target damage, because the 6 spears gives us tremendous amount of single target damage. So basically, more attack speeds is faster everything. It's faster healing, it's faster damage, it's faster bleeding procs on the Pain Enhancer and all of that shit, guys. Bane of the Stricken will give us more single target damage and much faster single target damage, but as a result they are pretty close, and overall across the Rift I think that Pain Enhancer will be much more beneficial towards the whole spec. Gogok is just an all-round good gem. It gives us the dodge and it gives us the required CDR. We need 36% CDR along with the diamond and helm and one roll here, either on shoulder or anywhere else. We need 36% CDR for permanent uptime of the Vengeance Dark Heart, and Vengeance gives us damage reduction and damage increase as well. And with Dawn Cube we can have the permanent Vengeance. But if you don't have the CDR roll on either like anywhere, like you don't have the 8% CDR roll on shoulders like I don't have, for example, it's no big deal, because you will just have 1 second downtime of Vengeance. 1 second is not a big problem at all, so you can just go area damage here if you have a shoulders like this. So Gogok will give you CDR, attack speed, and dodge. This is basically the toughness, the damage, and the cooldown reduction. It's one of the best utility gems out there in the game. Bane of the Trap is just constant global DPS multiplier, and Pain Enhancer, like I said, it scales with your it scales your attack speed, your damage, and all of that. It basically adjusts your attack speed and single target and elites damage. And the only thing that is very important about the cold spec is that the Impale, oh sorry, I'm gonna switch this, yeah. Impale over penetration is piercing through the enemies. And what it means for the spec: more piercing, more Pain Enhancer procs, more monsters hit on screen, more Pain Enhancer procs, faster attacks, faster elite damage, and first of all, and the most important for most, is ridiculous amount of area damage. That's the difference between the lightning spec and the cold spec. and I will do a separate video about the lightning and the cold spec in general. But overall, I can say that the cold spec gives tremendous amount of area damage. That's why gearing towards area damage is so much more important in the cold spec. Basically, it's like the dagger of darts. The only reason why Carnival dagger of darts works is because the dagger of darts allows darts to pierce through the enemies and procs tremendous amount of area damage. If the dart would hit just one enemy, it's fucking garbage, it's useless. That's why dagger of darts introduced the piercing to the witch doctor, and basically impale over penetration is your fucking dagger of darts tripled by the holy point shot. That's the whole deal, guys. Let's go over the skills. On the first button is impale over penetration, would give us the piercing impale. On the right button I have Phantom Knight's bladed armor. That's our proc, and it also procs the numbing traps passive here as well. It's also a huge toughness boost as well. Look at the toughness, it increases our armor for 8 seconds. On the first button is Volt Rattling Roll, and this is the only rune you should ever use for this because it procs the strong embraces. On here you have the Shadow Power. It doesn't matter what you select here, you can select the no rune here because the 4-piece of the Shadow set gives us the all runes and they last forever. The only rune we should ever use this is Gloom because it reduces damage taken by 35%. It greatly increases our life per hit. And here's the deal, if you stack a lot of life per kill on your gear, like for example I have life per kill here and life per kill here, you can get tremendous amount of tankiness and recovery. Basically, when you attack, you instantly heal very fast, and you can tank Veracity, no big problem with this. I also recommend using the Bottomless Potion of Mutilation with this. It greatly increases your life per kill for 5 seconds. You basically become fucking immortal. If you want to be one-shotted, you can tank everything, absolutely everything. Okay, on the third here is Vengeance Dark Heart. It's basically just the damage reduction, the permanent 50% more damage reduction. Also, it gives us the 40% increased damage, rockets, and all this stuff. It's good, it's mostly the damage reduction and damage as well. On this button we have our companion, and it's either the Wolf Companion or the Boar Companion. Everything else is not very important. Wolf is for damage and Boar is for regeneration and all rest. So this just the skills that you want to use. As for the passes, it's Cool the Weak because we constantly slow the enemies either with the Bane on the Trap or just the Phantom Knight also slows the enemies. So it's just a global buff against all the enemies. Awareness is second life. Numbing traps can be either used because we always slow the enemies and we always hit them with a Phantom Knight. So it's like a global debuff for the enemies. It's very powerful, very good. If you don't want to use numbing traps, you can use Leech. It will give you a tremendous amount of tankiness as well. And especially if you have a huge amount of life per kill gear, Leech can be extraordinarily much better, guys. So numbing traps or Leech here, it depends on your choice. Ambush just more DPS against enemies at full health. So this is like more damage. So this is it, guys. Let me check if I remember everything from my written guide. Also, check the Diablo fans guide. There are all specific for this build, and there will be more things added there as well as I kind of get deeper into the build. But this is it, and I can honestly say that overall, what I like about this build, it is very balanced. It has the trash damage because the hits that the first target gets is very strong, and then it procs area damage and everything that smells around. Also, this piercing shit is just ridiculously powerful. Also, the tankiness is impressive. The toughness is very high. And basically this build can do everything. I mean, Marauders is very frustrating, and Helodescent's Grenade is very good, but I think it has a low damage potential than this build. Although they are extremely close, and you will see that on the leaderboards they are like back to back with this build. And overall, I think it's one of the most balanced Demon Hunter builds I've ever seen in a while. I mean, Demon Hunter always struggled with something like it was not tough enough, it was very frustrating, you need to hide, or it was very powerful but you had no toughness, or it has a lot of toughness, you had no damage, or something like this. With this, you have the single target damage, a huge trash amount of damage, a huge toughness, infinite mobility. This is like everything you ever want from the Demon Hunter. And you honestly don't even need the Bane of the Chicken for it to work. It's like ridiculous amount of craziness in this build. I really like this a lot. I plan to push this even higher. I cleared Great Rift 92 on non-season with around 300 rank here. Let me check. I'm here on normal. Keep in mind that this is non-season, that this is like much higher because the guys above me, they all have much higher Paragon than me mostly. I will try to push a little higher here and see how far can I go. Unfortunately, I have around 7 augments out of 13 here. I don't have augments here, 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 and here as well. So I'm missing a lot of augments, a lot of potential to go. And I honestly think that you guys enjoy the build. This is very, very good. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. If I forgot something, please consult the Diablo Fans Guide for more detail. Thank you very much, and see you soon.